Starting now. We're live. Sounds good. All right. We are in chapter 34, the indicative of didomi. Didomi, this is the point where Mounts kind of comes together and grabs the stuff that doesn't fit into his clean system. And he just says, all right, here, we're going to throw it here at the end. So you guys only have a couple more chapters, right?
Yeah, it's two more after this.
Yeah, two more. You got the non-indicative of didomi. And then you've got all the like odds and ends, the histemi, tithemi, dignumi, things like that. So it's yeah. I mean, you're just tying up all the loose ends of Greek at this point. So you guys pretty much know it. And I don't think your vocab is extensive at all either. Yeah, you're learning like 7 words.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are pretty easy. I mean, Moses, really?
Ethnos already knew, so yeah.
Say what?
I already knew ethnos.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So 7 words to memorize, not bad. The me verbs, as it says in 34.1, there's nothing like them in the English. It's considered the athematic, which means, or just the me verbs. It's basically, most of them don't use a connecting vowel. The imperfect, I believe, does, but for the most part, they're regular in the sense that once you know, there's a bunch of them, but once you know how they pretty much exist, they function that way. There's not much else to get along with. So he gives you 4 classes of me verbs in 34.5, and they're classified by their stem vowel. So the Omicron stem vowel, you're going to see a pattern for that. You're going to see, and we'll deal with them a little bit later. This chapter is just going to deal with the Omicron, but you're going to deal with them a little bit later, is the alpha stem vowel, the epsilon stem vowel, the upsilon stem vowel. So they're classified by their stem vowels. So there are, how many did you say, 5 rules? Yeah, 5 rules to recognizing me verbs. And again, Mounts isn't going to make you, or he's not concerned with you memorizing every paradigm and having it exactly right. He wants you to more be able to recognize it. So that's the reason he chooses to go with rules over making memorized paradigms. So the first rule you can see in 34.6 says me verbs reduplicate their initial stem letter to form the present and separate the reduplication consonant with an iota. So you can see down in the paradigm there, didomi, the stem is actually do. It's delta omicron, right? That's right. The stem. So it redupes the stem, puts an iota in the middle, and then it just attaches the endings. So that's rule number 1. And that happens in the present tense. But in the other tenses, you're not necessarily going to get that. So you got to be able to recognize the stem. So really what Mounts is getting at is the lexical form of the verb is not going to, and we've seen it in other words, but the lexical form of the verb is an irregular form of the verb. Mm-hmm. So do is the stem. So when you get into the future, you're going to see doso. You need to know that that's didomi. Just in the present, it's reduped. So, so it's that easy. Rule 2, me verbs do not ordinarily use a connecting thematic vowel in the present indicative. So the ending comes directly onto the word, and there's not a connecting vowel. It just connects directly to the stem vowel. And it says ordinarily because it means that always happens except for when it doesn't. So there are times that it doesn't, I imagine. Good thing about me verbs The bad thing is that they're fairly irregular and they're a little bit of a pain in the rear. The good thing is there's not a lot of them. But again, you do see them a lot. There's just not a lot of them, and they generally happen in the present, I think. So, trying to think what else is important to communicate about that. So rule 3, me verbs employ 3 different personal endings in the present active indicative. What it's trying to say here is that if you remember luo, lues, lue, lu amen, lu ete, lu usi for your indicative paradigm, there's only 3 actual changes in the me chart. It's the first singular because it has an ending me, whereas luo doesn't. There's no ending. Okay. The third singular adds a sigma to it. In the present, it's just an iota, but in the me verbs, it's a sigma iota. Okay. And then the very last, the third plural, has instead of a nu sigma iota, has an alpha sigma iota. So slight changes, but for the most part, the endings are very similar to those of the indicative. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's as easy as that. And essentially, you just have to memorize that's what's happening. So I always memorized it as like seeing somebody and using bad grammar. I always said me see Aussie. So like me see Aussie. And I just remembered those are the 3 that are different. And I remembered that it's first singular, third singular, and third plural. So me see Aussie. So the only ones that are different than the indicative. So the present indicative or the present active is the only place where the me verb uses different endings. All the rest of them use different endings. If you look down at the chart here at the bottom of page 321, right above rule 4, you'll see that these are the middle passive endings, and they look exactly like the indicative. My, si, tai, metha, essa, ntai. So the present active is the only one that really has those different endings. You're going to see that the aorist uses the same endings. The perfect uses the same endings. So the present is really the one that is awkward in this whole thing. Rule 4, the stem vowel of me verbs can lengthen, shorten, or drop out, ablaut. So they can really do whatever they want. And it's not a matter of knowing when or why they do it. It's just a matter of being able to recognize it. Whether you see didomi or didomen, you need to both know that's didomai, right? Or didomi. That's the verb. So you can look down at the pattern. If you want to look down at 34.11 at the bottom of 322, you can look down the pattern and see that all the singulars have a lengthened omicron, whereas the plurals have a shortened omicron. So all the singulars, the omicron turns into an omega, and all the plurals, the omicron stays. So that may even help you identify it in parsing, if you can remember that. But rule 5, most of the me verbs use ka, kappa alpha, as their tense formative in the aorist. These are called kappa aorist. And then you can see the paradigm, ka, kos, ken. Now, immediately, what does your mind tell you about that?
Perfect.
Right. Because the perfect, up until this point, the perfect has been identified by the kappa alpha, right?
Right.
Okay. So this throws a little bit of a kink into that, but not really, because what don't you get with the aorist?
What don't you get?
Yeah, what don't you get that you get with the perfect?
Oh, reduplication?
Right. You don't
You
get
have an augment in this case.
Huh?
And you have an augment in this case, right?
Yeah, well, aorist is going to have an augment because we're back in the indicative, remember?
Right.
So the aorist is talking past tense, so it always has an augment when it's talking, not really past tense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, so it doesn't have the redupe, and you're going to be able to tell the difference in the me verbs. You're going to be able to tell the difference between the aorist and the perfect by the reduplication. So the problem is that, okay, that brings up 2 issues. If the cause and aorist and a perfect in the me verbs, then that causes a little bit of a problem. But also, if present is reduping, what else does that cause a problem with?
The perfect.
The perfect. So in the me verbs, the present and the aorist are wannabe perfects, is what they are. They're trying to take on the perfect idea. So the perfect has to tweak itself a little bit. It redupes, but it redupes with a different vowel. Instead of it being an iota, it redupes with an epsilon. And that's how you can tell the difference. That, along with the kappa alpha, give you the ability to tell the difference between a perfect and an aorist and a perfect and a present. So because it redupes, instead of with the iota of the present tense, it redupes with the epsilon. And the kappa, the ending's the same as the aorist ending, except for you get the redupe. And you don't get that in the aorist. So you can see how that can be a little bit of a pain in the rear. But really, if you just simplify it and just look at it and honestly work through it, you're fine. It's not that much to remember. So the me verbs are okay. Next week you're gonna no, it's still didomi, but it's outside of the indicative, which is a little bit of a pain, but it's not horrible. It kind of follows the pattern that we've already learned. It's 2 weeks from now that you're just gonna be like, all right, now we're pushing it. When he does the whole histemi, tithemi, dacnumi, and odds and ends, that's when you're gonna be like, all right, this chapter's just stupid. And that's because Mouse just throws it all in the end and says, hey, have that. There you go. That's the extra stuff. So other than that, it's pretty easy. Really quick, we'll talk quickly about format of the quiz. The quiz, there's seven vocab words. Ironic that how many words do you have to memorize this week?
7.
Wait a minute. And there's grammar and translation. Now the grammar, there's some rules like what we talked about just a second ago of it's not going to need you you're not going to need to know these 5 rules by heart. You're not going to have to know them by word, not for the quiz. That's not necessary. But you are going to need some of the things that we've talked about, the iota, the epsilon, the kappa alpha. These types of things are things you're going to need to have firmly in your head in case you were asked questions like, hey, how can you tell the redupe of a present verb, present me verb? You're going to be able to say, oh, that's an iota. Iota is the vowel there. Or, you're going to have to be able to answer those types of questions are the grammar questions you're going to get. So you just need to kind of comb through the chapter and just make sure you understand. If you were to take all these words, understand exactly why you know that they are what they are. And then you have one translation. And then you have 5 parsings. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Now, the one thing that needs to be said, just so nobody gets confused, the me verbs are just another style of verb. The translation does not change. This is not a conjugation. This is not a new form of a verb. This is so we've been studying the indicative, we've been studying the imperative, and all of these have different translation values, right? We've shifted from that. Now we're just talking about a new style of verb. The translation is the exact same. So we are talking about in the indicative system. This is a me verb. So there is no, inflecting it. You're gonna, when it's in the present tense, you're gonna inflect it as a regular present tense verb because that's what it is. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we've shifted. We're no longer talking about the might or may or the imperative force of you shall or any of those types of things. So, all right. It's all you, man. What do you want to do?
Just do some parsing. Let's start up there. We can do some translations. That sounds good.
Sounds great, man. I'm all over it. All right, brother.
It'll come. Okay. So that is going to be aorist active indicative, third plural of
Right. From what?
didymy.
From didymy, and what's the inflected?
Oh, aorist third. They gave.
They gave. Perfect. Perfect. You don't have your book open, do you? Don't cheat.
I didn't look at it, but I did have it open. I'll be honest.
All right,
Yeah.
don't cheat.
I put it away.
All right.
Okay. Since there's reduplication and the kappa for the ending, so it's a perfect.
Okay.
Perfect active indicative, third singular from didymy, and that would be he, she, it gave. Or
It's a perfect, right? It's not an aorist.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. Is it he? I'm drawing a blank here. So that was he, she, it has given.
There you go. He, she, it has given.
All right.
It's something that happened in the past that has consequences, ongoing consequences in the future, or present. Okay, perfect. Now the other way that you can tell, you hit the fact that there's redupe and there's kappa. So there's our.
Since there's an epsilon in the reduplication,
right,
to an iota.
Reduping with the epsilon lets you know that that's a perfect, not a present.
Deduce. Oops. Okay. So we have an augment and the iota and the reduplication. So that's telling me it's imperfect.
Yeah, because why is it imperfect? Why? I mean, I thought an augment was aorist.
You still have augments and imperfects.
Yeah, you do, but the telltale is that it uses the present tense stem.
Yeah.
The ditto. So it still has the redupe of the present, which is indicative of the imperfect.
And the us ending, that was second singular, correct?
It is second singular, yes.
Okay. From obviously didymy.
Right.
Second, so you. I'm trying to write this down. Second singular. As you gave?
That sounds pretty aorist.
Yeah, it does. You will give?
This stretches you back to your indicative days. So you got to remember the aspect of the present and imperfect.
So the present's the continuous action.
Right. And the imperfect is what?
Isn't that past that? Oh, no, wait. Continuous.
Right. And it's got the redupe, so it's continuous in the past.
Continuous in the past.
Yep.
Oh. So you. And so the you are giving would be
you present. Are giving would be present.
Present.
Now just put that back in the past. Keep you and giving. Change the R.
You were giving. That's right.
You were giving. Right.
Okay.
We we use those helping verbs to
Yeah.
help out with time, and so you gotta. That's all you're changing is the helping verb, as you're thinking past or present. So,
That's yeah. I was just thinking. I remember the past parts. That's why I said you gave. I was like, no, that doesn't sound right.
yeah, because that's incomplete. You're messing up the aspect on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yep.
So this is good for review.
Yeah, it is.
Doso. So doso, you just see the stem there with the so that's telling me it's future.
Yes.
Future active indicative. First singular.
Yes.
Indicative of didomi,
Yes.
which means I will give
Yes, you will.
an answer, which I did. So
It's true.
so did I see? So that's present active indicative. I see. There's the movable new there. That's third plural, right?
Yes, it is. Misiasi.
That's right.
Yep.
Me. So they are giving.
They are giving. That's all I got.
It's easy enough.
Easy enough. That's how we make A's. Okay, can you open up to page 141 in your workbook?
Yeah.
Okay. Just as a quick, and I would do this every once in a while as a student just to make sure that I was able to recognize it good, is can you look at the parsing section 1 through 10? Did you already do this?
Yeah, we did that in class.
You did it in class. Can you cover it all up except for the words in 1 through 10?
Okay.
Okay. Can you run down that 1 through 10 and, like, as quick as you can, just give me the tense? Nothing else, just the tense.
Oh yeah. So we have present,
Right?
aorist,
Yep.
perfect,
Yep.
future,
Yep.
imperfect,
Yes.
present,
Yep.
perfect,
Yep.
future,
Yep.
aorist, and then perfect.
Yep. Good. Perfect. That kind of lets you know that your eyes are adjusting to what you're looking for to know the tense. The rest of it you can figure out because the endings are, except for in the present, exactly the same. So you've been working with those the whole time.
Yeah.
The only thing new is identifying the tense, and if you can do that well, you're good. All right. So you want to hit up some translation?
Sure.
All right. You tell me where, and I'll be there with you.
I got all the warm-ups and a few of the regular translations done. Only ones I haven't done are 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we can start with 4. That's fine.
4? Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Two. So that would be, and he said to the devil.
Okay. Can you parse ha diabolos?
Oh, and the devil said to them.
There you go.
Sorry.
And it's not them. That looks like a alto.
I said them at first, but it's him.
Okay, yeah. And the devil said to him.
Okay. So soy doso. Soy doso. So soy is you. Right. So you will give.
Well, can you parse soy?
So it's from Sue, so you, right? Or but it's plural.
Okay.
Well, so it'll be nominative.
You think it's nominative?
But it doesn't sound like that's what it is.
It's not nominative.
Yeah, I'm. Okay.
I can see what you're thinking. That oi looks.
Oh wait. So the subject's in the verb doso.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you still got to know what soy is doing.
So it's dative.
It is dative. You're right. And it is not plural.
No. I see that now.
Yeah.
So I give authority or power.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So it would be I give authority and power to you.
Can you parse doso?
I will give it. That's right.
There you go.
It's future. I will give authority and power to you.
Right. Or you could keep it in the word order and you could say, to you, I will give.
Authority.
Right. Keep going.
Okay, so we see just jumping to apason, same meaning as pas. So that
Right.
would be all.
Okay.
Tain. So the tautain and apason, that's all in the same case as exousion.
Right. I think both of those are
Modifying that.
Yep.
So is it to you I will give all this authority?
Yes. Good call.
Okay. And this glory.
Well, where are you getting this?
Oh. I'm sorry, no. I looked at altone wrong.
Okay.
So, and glory, altone's in the genitive case.
Right.
It should be of him or her. It would be him in this case.
Well, it can only be one thing in the sentence.
Yeah.
So you need to decide what is the antecedent.
The tone. So am I just looking for something else that's genitive?
No.
Not necessarily.
Hold on 1 second. Hello.
Okay.
Hey. Yes, and you're being recorded right now. It's okay. It's okay. Do you need something? Okay. All right. Love you. All right. Bye. She forgot I had this. Okay. So Altone is not going to match something in case
Yeah.
because it is showing possession. But because it's a pronoun,
Mm-hmm.
it will match in gender and number.
That's right. So it's just matching.
And it's tricky. It's going to be tricky because Altone is plural.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a hard time looking back and finding an antecedent that's plural. But I'm telling you, it's antecedent. It is tain exousion.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna guess. Honestly.
Yeah. Now that's singular, but the reason that Altone can modify it is because the apason that's there.
All. Yeah.
All, right? All this authority. It makes it like a plural singular. You know what I mean? All of this authority. And then how would you translate Altone now? Now that you know it's talking about all authority. You don't translate authority as he or she.
And so I will give. So to you, I will give all this authority, or all this power and glory.
Yeah, but you got to deal with Altone. And what?
And all this glory? Or
no.
Would
No,
you
it's going to read, to you I will give all this authority and its glory.
And its glory. Okay.
Yeah, because Altone is standing in for exousion, and so it's it and its glory.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
To you I will give all this authority and its glory.
Okay. Hati, so that's since or because.
Right.
We'll just say, I'm going to use because for now, but
okay.
Because of my paradetatai. I honestly have no idea what that is.
Okay, well, it's a new vocab word from this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll have those memorized by tomorrow, but I'll have to look it up right now.
Sure, yeah, look it up. Have fun. But you can still parse it without knowing the word.
Yeah, you want me to parse it? Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, hold on, I lost my spot. Dedatai. So the reduplication has an epsilon, so that's perfect.
It's perfect, but where's the kappa alpha?
It's using the my side tie.
It is, which tells you what?
It's present. Right? Oh no, it's middle or passive?
It is middle, yeah. It's middle. Middle passive, you're right.
So perfect middle passive indicative, my side tie, third singular. From paradidami.
Right.
So the perfect active would be he has given. So he was being given?
How did you... Hold on. What is the subject? You're right. It's in the verb. But what are we talking about? Are we talking about a he or an it?
It.
It, right? Because we're still talking about all authority.
Sorry, I was just parsing that like on a parsing sheet.
No, okay. Yeah, you're exactly right. Then he, she, it has been given. Because it's perfect passive, right?
Yeah.
So he, she, it has been given.
Yes. So that would be so that changes my thoughts of it at least. So because it has been entrusted to me.
Yeah, because to me it has been given.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't use entrusted because you know that it's the devil talking.
That's a good point.
And we're not going to entrust the devil with anything.
No.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's the same idea.
To me and and so hoy, that's gonna be who, whom, but in the dative.
Right. So in the dative, it has to be what? It can't be who. Who is reserved for the nominative.
Whom.
Whom. Right. To whom.
And to whom. Then we have an aeon, so if or when.
Aeon is kind of that if with a ever.
Yeah.
If ever, right? So because on is that
So-
untranslatable particle.
So and whomever.
Yes, to whomever.
And to whomever.
Right.
I wish.
Right.
I wish I give to him. I'm sorry, I give.
Remember, we're not talking about a him. We're talking about
Yeah.
yeah. So and to whomever I wish I give it.
Okay.
So read the whole sentence.
So, and the devil said to him, to you I will give all this authority and its glory, because it has been given to me, and to whomever I wish I give it.
Right. Perfect. Good job, man. That was kind of a tough one.
Was it? It's. I mean, it had its iffy parts, but
Yeah, it had its parts that we had to think back on.
yeah.
It was fairly straightforward. All right, try number 5.
The law was given through Moses. Grace and truth become through Jesus Christ.
Oh, you already did that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I
You
did.
jerk.
So you can do number 6, or you want to?
Go for it. Number 6.
Yeah. So hoi lo, that's nominative. That's your subjects. Lokoi, remaining or rest. So hoi lokoi was the rest.
Okay.
And the next word's terrified. So is that just the rest word terrified?
I think you're pretty close. Draw the next word into that too. You need a verb because right now you have the rest terrified.
Yeah. Again, Anton.
There's no new at the end of that. Egananta.
Did I put one there?
I heard one, but I could be hearing wrong.
Okay. I might have. It's been a long day, but that's okay.
I heard wonton. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So Genanta. I actually think I took that last new and put it on the end instead of after that. Anyways, so Genanta.
Oh, excuse me.
Is that an heiress from Ganao?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hold on. What does Ganao mean?
Ganao? Is that the I beget?
Yeah. I beget. I become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Become. That's heiress. We have the middle and the passes. Is that middle? Third plural?
Right.
Okay. So the rest became terrified.
Right. Perfect.
And Dokon. So we have an aorist active indicative, third plural from didimi. And they gave glory to God of heaven. That sounds weird.
And they gave glory to the God of heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And do number 7 and see how that goes, and
Let's do it.
we can
ready.
call it a night.
Sure, man.
So ta Srimata. It's from Prema, which means word or saying.
Right. Now you don't have to pronounce the rough breathing mark.
Oh.
Yeah, not over a row. A row always has a rough breathing mark, but you don't pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
Ta remata.
That would be plural.
I would agree with that.
But it could be nominative or accusative, right? Depending on, I would say it's nominative here. The word.
I would agree. The words.
The words, yeah.
Yeah.
Educas. Edu. It's educas. That's aorist active indicative third singular. I'm sorry, second singular.
There you go. Second singular. Perfect. Not perfect aorist, but second singular.
Yeah. Or would that make Remata accusative then, since you gave the words?
I know exactly where your mind's going, and I like that.
That's
But
not in this case.
there's this little alpha with a rough breathing mark and a grav.
I see that. I was hoping that wouldn't come up.
It is there though, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's making that verb edokos not the main verb of the sentence.
Okay, so does that translate to anything?
Absolutely, it does.
So with
What is that? Can you identify it?
is that who or whom again?
It is. It's a relative pronoun.
That's yeah. Okay.
And it's going to be referring to the words. So I don't think you would use who or whom.
That or
which.
Which. Okay.
Yeah, that which. Yeah.
So the words that you gave to me.
Right.
Or the words which you gave to me, whatever.
Right. The words which you gave to me.
Dedoka. So I will give Altoids to them.
Why are you using will? That's a what? Can you parse Dedoka?
Yeah, I'm not. That just came out.
Okay.
That's perfect. I was giving it a future tense.
That's right. It's a perfect though, so you can't do that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That just I would have thought that through whenever I looked this is
Where's it come out? Stop him.
So okay. So I have given to them.
I have given to them. Yeah. So the words which you gave to me, I have given to them. So the main verb of the sentence is actually dedoka, because the main sentence is the words I have given to them.
Yeah.
But the which you gave to me is a relative clause that sits there to help modify which words. Okay, good.
All right, and Altoi Elaban. Let's just look at that verb. Elaban, that's Eris from Lambano.
Right, perfect.
Does that just be Eris active indicative first singular? Or hold on. First, is that right? First singular?
Yeah. Yep.
And I took them.
Maybe received. Yeah.
Yeah, and I received them. Okay.
Right. Perfect. Actually, that's tough. That's going to be contextual. That's tough because it'll be a contextual grab, because that can either be first person or third plural. Which contextually it makes sense. You gave the words to me and I have given to them.
Yeah.
And that altoy there, can you parse that?
Oh, I was saying now it's a masculine plural, but that now.
No, you're exactly right, but that is serving as your subject.
Yeah.
So your subject's not in your verb. So your verb cannot be first singular. It's got to be third plural because it's matching altoy.
Yeah.
Okay. And they received.
And they received. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and Ganosan, Eganosan. Is So that's from Gnosko.
Mm-hmm.
Eganosan was obviously aorist.
It is. You're right.
They're plural.
Right. Yep. Is it third plural? Yeah.
And we don't want it. So would it be and truly they know?
And they knew.
And
Can't
they
be no.
yes,
No would be present.
that's right. And truly they knew.
And they knew truly.
Would you put it there? I just thought it sounded better before.
Well, finish the sentence. Contextually, I think you'll find it'll
Okay.
sound a little bit better after.
That para it's going back a ways. I'm gonna feel dumb after I know it, I just don't want to take up a whole lot of time.
Para, and you've got to determine it's got multiple meanings.
Yeah, I know it has multiple meanings.
So you got to determine what case you're looking at. How do you know what case para is in?
It's the word follow, or the word it's following.
Yeah. So Sue.
Okay, so Sue, that's genitive, so it's going to take the genitive sense.
Right.
Okay. Which is from.
Right.
Yeah. Exalthon, that's from exerchomai.
Right.
Aorist means I go out or come out. So it'll be I came out.
Yeah, leave out off.
Okay. I think I always just try to do that because of the X.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So put
that
it together.
from you. Okay, so that from you I came. So the words which you gave to me I have given to them, and they received, and from you I came.
Oh, you
Or
skipped the section.
that.
And they knew truly that from you I came.
Oh.
Or that I came from you. Yeah.
I didn't write that down, so I didn't write it down. Yeah, and they knew truly that from you I came.
Right.
That I came from you, however you want to put it, smooth it out. Truly. Okay. And epistuason, that's from pistuo.
Yes, it is.
With the augment of that ending, I'm going to say it's aorist.
Yep.
Third plural.
Right.
And they believed.
Yes.
That you sent me.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the whole thing?
The words which you gave to me, I have given to them, and they received, and they knew truly that from you I came, and they believed that you sent me.
Yep, perfect. Just so you know, as a translator, you have the liberty to provide an object behind elabon.
Okay, good, because I want to.
Yeah, and you have that liberty because they're just saving Greek space, but they're assuming that you understand what they're talking about.
Okay.
And so to say the words which you gave me, I have given to them, and they received them. You can say that.
Okay.
Yeah. And they knew truly that I came from you, and they believe that you sent me. So, yep, perfect. Good, man. Any other thoughts, questions?
No, I feel good about translating tonight. Let's just make sure that holds out tomorrow.
Yeah, really. I think you'll do fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. So it's really not. There's not that much to this translation.
Yeah, last week's was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think I messed up one little part, but it wasn't too bad.
Cool. All right, man. Well, enjoy.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right, brother. You too. Later.
Later.